Taylor Medwig Kinney from genetics will talk about what drives cells to invade.
It's probably safe to say that we all know someone whose life has been profoundly impacted by cancer. Around 1 in 3 people will develop cancer during their lifetime, and unfortunately, because this disease is so complex and so difficult to characterize, there's currently no one-size-fits-all cure. When it comes to cancer, the most dangerous part isn't tumor growth per se, but rather metastasis. This is the process by which bits of the tumor break off and spread to other parts of the body. And this is estimated to account for approximately 90% of all cancer deaths. I study this process at the level of cells, or the building blocks of life. Specifically, I study a key step that cancer cells need to take in order to become mobile, called cell invasion. Cell invasion is the process of a cell breaching the biological borders, called basement membranes, that separate our organs. So you can see in the picture I'm showing that the cell invades through. And the focus of my PhD work has been trying to figure out what drives cells to invade. Now at this point, I should mention that cell invasion isn't always a bad thing. For example, invasion is an important part of fertility, specifically embryo implantation, which as a mom myself, I'm especially grateful for. And the other day, my now 2-year-old son was playing with his toy cars, and I realized that a cell's decision to invade or to not invade is similar to how a car operates. Now, some cells will stay parked in some spots, but others, like cancer cells, will need to travel to other parts of the body in response to outside cues, or traffic lights, if you will. And so our lab has shown that in order to invade, cells need to stop dividing, which in this analogy is kind of like easing up on the clutch. But they also need to push down on the gas pedal to drive the expression of genes that promote invasion. I use these clear microscopic worms to study how invasive genes are regulated. Why? Well, think about it this way. If you wanted to study automotive mechanics, you would have to stop the car in order to pop the hood and peek inside, right? But because my worms are transparent, we can view individual cells, so it's like being able to look at the inner workings of an engine from outside of the car as it's driving. I specifically studied genetic activators that turn on genes, and in my thesis work, I found that some of these activators work together to promote invasion through pushing on the gas pedal, others work by easing up on the clutch, and some do both simultaneously. And for the second half of my thesis work, I decided to switch gears, no pun intended, to try to understand what puts on the brakes in non-invasive cells. And I have some early evidence suggesting that genetic repressors that turn off genes inhibit invasive machinery, essentially keeping these genes parked where they are. So why do you care about cell invasion in worms? Different makes and models of cars often look distinct from the outside, but the core principles that underlie how they work is essentially the same. So I hope that my work will reveal new insights into how cancer invades and that we can save lives. Thank you.